now that we understand, that this is my home, this is my family here, hopefully we can have a mutual understanding that this is like sacred territory. So when you come here, and it may not be legal, but you agreed. You don't want us at your house recording stuff. You don't want us bothering you. So we're asking just the same thing. Come follow us on calls. Come take a look at some of the tactical incidents. Record those.
I love the videotape the tactical stuff. The thing is, you guys got it blocked off so far off you can't do anything.
It's for a safety thing.
Well,
it's for a safety thing, and we block it off to the general public.
Right.
You know, as much as we may not have the same views and disagree at times, I don't want to see you get hurt. And so, I mean, and I can't afford you a luxury I can't afford to the next man. Just because you have a camera, I can't say, hey, you know what, Bob, I think this would be a really good angle. I mean, I know you're down range with gunfire, but let's do this. We just can't do it.
Right.
And so, here's my point. You said that you would not like me to go to your house. You don't want me to record your house. And I get that. I get that. And you were, up until about 30 seconds ago, misunderstood that we feel like this is our home. And it is our home. And these actually, apartments right there, are somebody's home. And you're in front of them. And they don't really care for that either, because nobody likes to feel monitored 24/7. Right? And me, even as a police officer, I don't monitor people 24/7.
Right.
I don't monitor you. I only talk to you when you show up. Right? And you know, I try to be very cordial and respectful. But you have failed for the last 20 minutes that you've been recording me to provide a legitimate explanation why you need to record officers' license plates to their personal vehicles. Right?
Right.
And so as we move on into the future of trying to have a understanding or a relationship, I mean, let me ask you, do you think officers want to talk to you, interact with you, and give you what you want? Is from a film standpoint, if you're recording their personal license plates?
They don't want to do it anyway.
Maybe not all of them, but some of them will engage with you.
Very few.
I'm more likely to engage with you if you're reasonable with me.
Last week I went over and video recorded a guy stealing shoes was what was on the scanner. I went over there and videotaped. As soon as I got out of the vehicle, the cop goes, "You're too close." And there was a whole parking drive through, all the way through there between me and him.
It's all about reasonableness, right? So in this case, when you often do get too close, and I've been out there when you have gotten too close.
The guy was cuffed in the back of the vehicle.
Okay, well, that guy in the back of the vehicle has rights.
Okay.
And it is actually, you cannot record our computer screens. I mean, you have to be a licensed user of the criminal justice system to do that. And you, my friend, are not. So you can't record that. We have an obligation to protect the people in our custody. And that includes you taking vulnerable pictures of them.
When they're sitting back of the police car, they're not vulnerable.
They are vulnerable, and their sensitive information is up on our computer screen because that's who we're dealing with. Super vulnerable. And we have an obligation to protect them. And so, had you not had such bad blood or bad history over what's going on with you and the police, then maybe they'd be more welcoming. But you could start now by being kind, by being respectful, by getting the facts right. Especially when you talk to me about the other guy with the guns. I mean, your facts are wrong, and you were making accusations on the judgment we passed against him. But in reality, your facts are wrong. And you're blaming me. I mean, I don't see you at the grand jury's houses telling them that, hey, that they're wrong for reviewing the case and making a decision. So here's my point. I think that it would be in good nature, good spirit of you to not record the officer's personal plates and see where that gets you down the road as far as being able to be in a position to get that action shot that you want. Right?
Right.
If you provide a legitimate reason for why you need officers' personal plates, I'm willing to entertain that and explore that. But right now, we've decided that more likely than not, the users that want our personal plates want it for malicious reasons. And you're okay with recording them. You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
And so, now that we've adopted that idea that users want your license plate for malicious reasons, you continue to harbor that.
No, I don't believe that.
You do believe that.
No.
In absence of saying that you believe it and failing to provide a legitimate response shows that the malicious intent behind your viewers
Mm-hmm.
is something that you're willing to capture and you're okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want you to agree with me. I want you to have an educated conversation with me.
Right.
So have an educated conversation with me.
Okay.
So let's have that. Let's have you give me a legitimate reason for recording an officer's personal plates, other than the malicious intent behind your viewers to use that information against us.
Okay, there's other reasons.
What other reasons?
I can't discuss that right
Why
now.
is that? Why is it a
Why?
secret?
Why is it you guys can't discuss investigations that you're doing with me?
I just walked you through the whole grand jury process about Eric Crow and
Right.
I facts the investigation. So don't accuse me of not communicating with you. I'm willing to communicate
Okay,
facts with you.
if there's a shooting over here in Southeast Portland, right? And I go up and I ask for details on the shooting, are you going to give me those details?
So we work with the media and we like sharing details, but our time is of the essence. Our time is scarce, and we will brief media when we can.
Yeah.
But it's a working relationship, okay? You expect me to pull time out of my day and my busy investigation to brief you on specific details of investigation when you can't even provide a legitimate reason for recording personal plates of the officers. So that's what I'm saying. It comes back to this working relationship. You want things from us that you're not willing to give in return.
Well, there's certain things I can't. I cannot.
Why can't? So what is so secretive about recording officers' vehicle plates?
I can't discuss that.
And why is that?
Because
There's malicious intent behind it.
there's not malicious intent behind it.
Are you planning to show up at our houses to give us presents and gifts?
No.
Are you planning on coming over to come to a block party?
No.
What reason would you need an officer's personal license plate?
I can't tell you that.
And you can understand my concern.
I understand.
And so this goes back to that working relationship. Moving on, the police aren't going anywhere. You guys aren't going anywhere. So let's figure out a way to at least get along and be cordial. And it's just never going to happen as long as you put up this fence. I'm trying to build bridges. And you're sitting here recording personal plates and refusing to give me a reason why. And I've already discussed, all my theories behind it. And, for the most part, you're not disagreeing with them, and now you're just kind of taking a quiet stance and saying that you cannot tell me why.
No, I cannot say what all's going on. We're doing an investigation of ourselves with the police.
Oh, you're investigating us.
Yes.
So, like I said, again, if you want to investigate the police, you're welcome to. There's the precinct. Recorders coming to and from the doors of the precinct. The personal space, the personal license plate, we already discussed. That's sacred ground. We don't go to your house and mess with you. Okay? Remember? We had this conversation. But yet you're still here. And I'm trying to give you that friendly advice to say, hey, you know what? You're right. It's not illegal. But it is rude. It is kind of violating a man's sacred ground. I'm asking you not to record officers' personal plates.
Right.
But in return, to try to build a working relationship with us from a film buff standpoint, right? From a media standpoint. From in a position to say, I mean, would it and trust me, it would be a cold day in hell because I think on your part, refusing to work with us. But imagine this. Imagine that we're dealing with a police tactical incident. Looks really good if it was on YouTube. Help you be a renowned filmer.
Right.
And you come up and say, hey, Sergeant Wilbon, Sergeant Mooney, man, is it cool if I get a shot from here from my YouTube channel? And I say, hey, you know what, Bob? Hey, no problem. Just stay right here, but don't go past here. It's safe right here. To get that, to be able to have that interaction with you, I think helps both of us out. But you coming here to record personal plates doesn't get us towards that goal. And so now when we're on a tactical, I mean, we view you as potentially somebody who is recording our personal license plates for malicious intent. And that, my friend, is not going to get you a seat at the table for the tea party, so to speak. I mean, that's going to get you under suspicion, right? Or suspicious of you. And I'm trying to work against that. Right. And so again, I'll ask you, if you could provide me one example of a legitimate reason why you need officers' personal plates, I'm all ears.
You're all ears, huh?
I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
You know I can't tell you that.
I don't think you can tell me that because number one, it's either malicious or has the intention to cause harm to officers, or you just don't have a reason.
Neither are. All three are wrong.
I only give you two, but
Well, you also said, or you don't have a reason.
well, I don't. Yeah. So what's the reason?
I can't tell you that.
So if you refuse to cooperate with me from a building relationship standpoint, then you cannot expect to show up on one of my calls.
If you're doing an investigation and I come up and ask you about your investigation,
You're not investigating. I investigate individuals and corporations. You're investigating random license plate. You don't even know who's coming and going. You're trying to record people. You don't even know who they are. You don't know if they're civilians. You don't know if they're the mechanics that work on our cars. I mean, I think you're being rather reckless in your investigation. What you're doing is equivalent to me saying, hey, all you people over here, come here. You guys are all detained. And I'm going to start just checking you all out. That's what you're doing. You're not singling out anybody. You're not sitting here identifying one person. You're not investigating specifically Joe Blow. You're just blindly going around recording who you think are officers' license plates. And again, you cannot tell me why. But yet, you have complaints about our interaction on the street.
Well, I have a suspicion within the next few months you'll find out. In fact, I'll come to you personally, and we'll have a little discussion about that.
About what?
What we're doing out here filming license plates. And you'll understand.
I want to be clear.
You may not like it, but you'll understand.
I want to be clear. You wouldn't be threatening me, would you?
No.
Okay. Because you're kind of talking like some Judgment Day stuff.
Okay, I'll give you a hint.
Give me a hint.
When an officer is off duty, he's no longer a police officer, right?
No.
Okay, he's not performing his duties as a police officer, right?
We're charged 24/7 to take action.
Okay.
But we do live with a policy of being a good witness when we're off duty, and certainly when we're engaged.
Right.
In
And
other activities.
when you're off duty, you have to follow the same laws as everyone else, right?
When we're on duty, for the most part, we have to follow the same laws. But if we were taking police action, there are certain exceptions.
Right.
When we're on my police car, I could turn on my lights and siren, and that would be an exception to the rule.
Right.
On duty, I can carry a pistol, but as a police officer, I'm afforded an exception to carry a pistol concealed as a police officer. So that would be a difference.
Okay. So if an officer comes out and does a traffic violation, and I see the traffic violation, and I go to you and I say, under Portland Police Policy so-and-so, I want to write this person a ticket.
Yeah, you can write people tickets if you want.
Right.
I mean, you have to fill out a long affidavit, and it's not the easiest process.
Right.
So you're doing a traffic investigation on this, is what you're saying. You want to start issuing police officers tickets.
I'm not saying I want to issue tickets. I just want to see what you guys, what traffic violations are happening now.
I will tell you this. In response to, you know, and again, this goes back to that TV, that film buff stuff. That, my friend, is just not interesting YouTube TV.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about that stuff. But as a viewer, right, I want to see the action. So let me tell you this. Many times, or numerous times, you are witness committing violations, traffic violations, to and from the calls that we're around and everything that you're doing, right?
Yeah.
How many times have you got tickets from the Portland Police?
Almost none.
Almost none. Because we afford a huge amount of discretion to allow you to make violations. I remember actually, the about 60th, I called you and your crew out on multiple violations, pedestrian violations, which were all citable offenses, and I did not cite you.
Right.
Because I used my discretion because I understood you were there for a purpose.
But we're
so
not.
Here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The discretion that we give you, and now you investigating us for traffic violations, is almost just not how you go about having a friendly relationship.
Right. We're not planning on issuing citations. What all we want to do is sit there and say, as people do things, as you, oh shit, something's going on.
Yeah, and you're wasting your time here recording license plates.
All right, I'm gone.